Today on Tricrow Studios, I go over how I set up a Telecaster. Now, just in previous videos where I did how I set up a Stratocaster and an SG, I'm doing this somewhat reluctantly. I'm doing this basically because this is a brand new guitar to me, and I have to set it up. And I've been asked in the past to do videos like these. And to be honest, I don't think I'm the best person to do it, because I set this instrument up to my liking. That might not be the same as your liking, and as well, I may do things a little different. I'm not sure, but I may do things a little different than what you're used to. So there's definitely going to be better videos out there. If you don't get much from this video, I would say go out and take a look at the other ones. So here we have a brand new out of the box Fender American Professional 2 Telecaster. I have the exact same Fender American Professional 2 Stratocaster with the same color and rosewood board and everything like that. So I'm a nerd. But what I want to do here, before I actually make any adjustments, I need to assess what needs to be adjusted and if there's any problems. So at this point, I plug the guitar into an amp, and this is going to be camera audio, nothing really fancy here. And I'm going to basically make sure that the pickups, like the bridge pickup and the neck pickup here, do not interfere with my low E string or my high E string. Those are usually the biggest culprits there. So, with the low E string, I'm going to strike the string a little bit to see if it's going to be hitting the pole pieces or anything like that. No, that's good. Next up, and I don't have to like switch pickups or anything like that. Next up, I want to see when I'm bending, generally from the 12th fret to the 22nd fret here, if the high E string is going to hit either the neck pickup or the bridge pickup. Now the bridge pickup here, it looks as though it is cocked a little bit more towards the high E string. So we'll see if that's going to be an issue. No problems there. That's great. The next thing I want to do is basically do the exact same bending, but pay more attention to the feel of things to see if the high E string is going to fret out, because that could be an issue with string height or the neck itself. Great. So we don't actually have any problems pickup height-wise or really string height-wise that's going to cause anything like fretting out or anything like that. Next, I'm going to take a look at the neck, and basically I want to make sure that it's not bowed like this, and that it's not completely flat. I generally, and this may be a point of contention for people, but I've always been told this for the last like almost 30 years, it should actually have a slight bow like this. I always say up bow and back bow wrong, that's why I'm not saying them. But you want to have a little bit of relief in your neck. Slight amount of relief. So let's take a look. It's slightly... It's almost completely flat, but it does have the slightest amount of a bow in it, which is nice. When you have the bow that it goes like this, which happens a lot with brand new guitars that have not been set up, when you're going to play the first fret, so you're going to see a lot of buzz. I've always found as well that if it's a perfectly straight neck, when you go up to the 3rd fret, on the low E string, usually, specifically, you're going to get a little buzz too. No, that's great. So it seems like the neck is okay. When it comes to string tension, I may be adjusting the neck as well. Now, I prefer 10 to 46 gauge strings. The strings that are on here are 9 to 42. And I can really feel that, even though this does have good tension, the arch on the bridge itself is what I typically see on Fenders, which is over-exaggerated, which the fretboard is arched, it's not flat, so you should have an arch in your bridge, right? But not as crazy as this one. This one's like, so I can really, really feel the 9 on here. So at this point, I am going to take the strings off. So now with the strings removed, I do, on a rosewood board, I do apply some lemon oil. It does not contain lemons or citrus or anything like that. I know people go a little crazy over that kind of a thing. You shouldn't be doing that. It should be water. It should be this. Should be that. People go absolutely nuts. And like, to the point of, have you ever seen that Lucky Charms video where it's like a parent that says like the ingredients in Lucky Charms, he just read the box and it's like the same thing that's in like turpentine or something like that, or one of the ingredients for turpentine is in it, and he goes crazy and, you know, neglects to look at things like bread or like other cereals or anything like that to see that the same ingredients in there, and it's like super, super low content. Anyway, watch that video. It's hilarious because that guy goes freaking crazy. But yeah, if you don't want to add lemon oil to your guitar because you don't like it or whatever, that's totally cool. I do because it cleans the board better, I guess, than I can with just water or elbow grease. And it feels nice on my fingers for the next like couple of weeks. I don't leave it on there long. I'm also at this point going to remove the protective film and hopefully get the stupid sticker off the neck pickup here. So I'm very sorry. I know a lot of people like keeping that on there because I think, to be honest, if you keep the plastic on there for 20 years, you might gain like maybe 30 cents in value. So now I have the guitar completely restrung. I took the protective film off, and just a heads up, in order to actually get the plastic off of the neck pickup, I had to take the pick guard off and take the neck pickup out, and it was very easy after that, but still a little annoying. So at this point, I've tuned it up to E flat, and I'm gonna start tugging on my strings. I do this for quite a while, and the same thing, like I always tug on my strings whenever I tune up to pitch, never down to pitch, and then I'll tug on my strings and then tune again. If I'm recording, I do that about 3 times. But for the next like maybe hour or 2, I'm going to be tugging on my strings just to get the stretchiness out and stuff like that. And you hear that it's starting to go flat. So it's at this point I will tune again. And once I'm tuned up, I'm then going to take a look with the new string gauge on there to see how the neck is looking. It's actually looking pretty good. So we'll see after I adjust the string height and everything like that to see if there's enough tension and how things feel at that point if I have to do any adjustments on the neck. Very quickly, if your neck is too flat or if it has that bow like this, what you do is you take your adjustment tool and you put it in here and you turn towards the higher strings rather than the thicker strings. Or the thinner strings rather than the thicker strings. You turn it. What I do, I just do it very incrementally, so I'll like stick it, usually it's like around the middle of the nut, and then I'll turn it towards the higher strings, and that should take it from being flat to a little bit of a bow. And then obviously if there's too much of a bow like this, you then turn them towards your thicker strings, your lower strings. I just do one and then kind of allow it a little bit of time for the wood to actually move, and then start adjusting other things. So I'll take a look at my string height here. But basically, I already know that I need to correct the over arch here. So I do tend to like my low E string to be a little lower and my high E string to kind of not have that drastic of an arch. So I'll usually raise that. And then I'll honestly, this procedure takes about, if I'm having fun, an hour. You can do it in like 5-10 minutes, probably less. But I'm a musician and I love especially new instruments, getting to know new instruments. So this procedure usually takes like an hour or so. All right, so I have adjusted my string height. Again, my low E string is a little more kind of arched down, whereas the higher E string is a little more raised. It's not as like drastic of an arch. But I do have everything set kind of how I want. If you want to raise the poles, I don't know if you need to know this, but if you want to raise the poles, you just insert the tool and then spin it clockwise. If you want to lower it, you spin it counterclockwise. It's kind of basic. But that's how I set up a Telecaster. Again, this is just, there's way better videos out there that will go into more detail as to why you're doing all these different things, but because people have asked me to do it, and you know what? New Telecaster, might as well. That's why you're getting this video. So, for the like 6 people who watched, you're welcome about the Lucky Charms thing. Thanks for watching.